and it's in the bottom corner. It's 1-1.
The world's first, the pioneers, the club. All these terms have one main relation: Sheffield FC. The club has no shy of history, being the world's first. Founded in 1857, the club, or Sheffield FC, has survived 45 different prime ministers and 2 world wars. I was delighted with the opportunity to speak to Sheffield FC chairman Richard Timms.
My name's Richard Timms, I'm chairman of Sheffield FC, the world's first football club.
So what do you do in a day of the life?
That's a very good question. What do I do in the day of the life of Sheffield FC? Well, it's all sorts really. Obviously we're a non-league football club, but we're also a brand. The club being Sheffield FC, the brand being the world's first football club. So we do quite a lot of stuff internationally, contacting people, building up social media followers, talking to sponsors. But my main job at the moment is dealing with the relocation and building a new stadium that will become the home of football. So it's a pretty varied and interesting and busy time at the moment.
How often would you say, or how easy is your job?
Well, I work in football, it's not like real work, is it? So, you know, it's difficult. Football clubs aren't very profitable. We have the same issues as a Premier League football club, but just in minuscule. You know, players want more money, the wages always go up, but does the income? You know, we've flirted with relegation this year when we didn't expect that, so everything could go right off the field, and sometimes it doesn't quite go right on the field, but that's the trials and tribulations of sport.
Next season, where do you aim to finish?
Well, the stock answer for that for a chairman is to finish as high as possible. We thought we'd be in and around the playoffs this year, and in the turn of the year we were. I think we'd be looking for the same. We want to progress on the field as well as off the field, because you know we want a new stadium, but to be playing at the highest level we can.
Sheffield FC finished top half in their league this year, finishing 9th out of their total 20 places. The club has made many advancements in trying to get added back into the Football League. One of them is buying Connor Cutts from Maltby Main Football Club. He has then ended this season as top goal scorer with 11 goals. Sheffield FC sit in the 8th tier of English football, which means to get back into the Football League, it will take at minimum 4 years, depending on their getting automatics every season. They would have to win the Northern Premier League Division 1 East, which is where they currently sit, and then the Northern Premier League Premier Division, and after that, the National League North. After that, they will now have to win the newly respected National League. I got the opportunity to speak to a football fan of 70 years, Ian Cartwright.
My name's Ian Cartwright. I've been supporting football for about 70 years.
What's your experience with Sheffield FC?
I first became aware of Sheffield FC around about 1966-67. Somebody, a workmate, actually played for them, and he used to go on about them, how good they're doing and all that. So I decided I'd go to 1 or 2 games. Now at that time they were doing quite well. I think they were in the Yorkshire League, and they were going for promotion, which actually I think they went up about 67, 68, but then unfortunately they went down the following year. So and then this chap actually left, so I didn't hear much else about Sheffield FC for a few years.
Do you think that clubs with historical importance should be protected by football governing bodies?
Well, Sheffield FC is certainly of historical importance. It's been going well over 150 years now. It's the oldest club, and they should be protected, because there's quite a few clubs, well, not as old as them obviously, but such as the ground we're looking at now. That used to be Norton Woodseats, who used to play there. In fact, they produced 1 or 2 players. Seth Caldwell, he played for Sheffield United and was their captain and whatever. But they went out of business in 2000. I think Sheffield, they kept going because of their history. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the whole club and the fan base and the history?
Well, obviously it's been going all this time, so there must be a lot of fans who supported it, not only attending matches but actually being on the board and financing the club, because without finance, as we know, clubs just go under.
If you had 3 words to describe this club as a whole, which 3 would you use?
Well, it's certainly a traditional club. I believe it's quite friendly. I believe they're looking for a new ground up at Meadowhead, somewhere around
they're currently
there.
building a ground, 4,000 seater. It's
Because
coming up
it's
soon.
called Sheffield FC, but it's not actually in Sheffield at the moment. So,
Thank you.
okay.
In 2001, Sheffield FC moved to their new ground, now called the Home of Football. However, luckily for the fans, there's a pub conjoined called the Coach and Horses. Sheffield FC is also a part of a major group called the Pioneers, which has got the likes of Wrexham and Genoa. All these clubs are some of the oldest ever. And for all of them just to care about each other's history and make sure each club is still remaining, it's really just a special thing to see, and I think more football fans should know about this club. I was lucky enough to speak to BBC Radio Sheffield sports journalist Adam Oxley.
Adam Oxley, I am a sports journalist at BBC Radio Sheffield.
What do you know about Sheffield FC?
Know quite a bit about Sheffield FC. My dad used to play for Sheffield FC, and obviously being part of the football heaven team at Radio Sheffield, we cover non-league as much as our professional side. So the oldest football club in the world, you know, it's in its kind of long-term temporary home at the minute. It's the best way of describing it. They're hoping to get up to Meadowhead at some point soon, but incredible history, and we're incredibly lucky in this part of the world to have Sheffield FC here.
I saw you just mention the history, so what do you think about the whole fan base and history as a whole?
I think it's something that we as an area should make a lot more of. I've talked about this quite a lot on the radio and also online as well. Only our part of the world can claim to have the oldest football club and the oldest ground and the rules and everything else to it. The fact that it hasn't got more than say 300, 400 on a regular basis is a real shame, because you'd have thought the world's oldest football club would have more, but I think it's everybody's kind of 3rd club or 4th club within the city, and people tend to try and come down and support it as much as possible if you're a Sheffield United fan, Sheffield Wednesday fan, or a fan of any other ground, and of course you get people visiting this place from all over the world.
And do you think that clubs of historical importance should be protected by football governing bodies?
Yes, I mean it's recognised by FIFA. I think it was the Order of Merit that it got a number of years ago with Real Madrid, the only clubs that have got it. I mean, that says it all really, but my long-term ambition is that it is back within the city walls, and the city shouts about it a lot more, that the city makes a lot more of it. A long time we've talked about you should drive in every route and there should be big signs saying the home of football, and that's wider than just Sheffield FC, of course, with Hallam and everything else that's gone on. But this place is something that we really have to make more of as an area. I'm incredibly proud of Sheffield FC, I'm incredibly proud that my dad played for it, and anything that this city can do to shout about its football heritage more, it really should, because any other place probably would do.
And one final question. If you had 3 words to describe the club as a whole, which 3 words would you use?
Oh, that's a great question. Wonderfully rich heritage, I would go with.
Thank you. The Sheffield founded side has been around since 1857, and Nathaniel Cheswick and William Prest formed Sheffield Football Club. The world's first football tournament, named the Udine Cup, was also played underneath the Sheffield rules in 1867. The Sheffield rules were wrote by Sheffield FC and are the first modern scripture of footballing rules. Sheffield club members are absolutely massively instrumental in the formation of the English Football Association, which is currently the governing body of English football. By having the shirts at such an affordable price, it really adds just a sense of community in and around the area. The club also offers a membership programme, which can either be a free club, which is £30 a year, or Legend at £85 a year, which all offers different prizes to be won. The club cares about its community. The home and away shirt both costing £35, which is a lot different compared to your modern day football shirts, which can cost upwards of £80. The club has such a rich history, winning 21 honours across their time, with 9 of them being promotions.
Here is where Sheffield FC's new 4,000-seater stadium will be built. Sheffield FC is not just a club, it's a brand known as the world's first. And by building this new and larger stadium, not only will development happen, just growing as a whole will be massive. Nobody would know where Sheffield FC would be, or even where football would be without Sheffield FC. The Sheffield rules were wrote because of this very club that we know and love. And football fans need to learn more about Sheffield FC and its existence, because without it, we don't know where the beautiful game will be.